Hi guys, happy Saturday. Just before I leave, I wanted to come on real quick and just share a couple of things with you. I know that my heart is kind of in a position of really wanting to see people achieve their goals. I talk to a lot of people that feel like they've been on the same path for years, making little to no progress. So I said, let me study portals and barriers. So let me talk about the sound barrier. Now, remember, God says that the power of life and death is in the tongue. But if you think about a sound barrier, when you're a pilot, you have to speed up, because I studied it. You have to speed in order to break the sound barrier. You have to be able to penetrate that sound by superseding it. And I want you to understand, and you can study this out for yourself because I did. And it says that God broke the barriers to keep his people from achieving the goals that's in his word. You know, sometimes when we keep going through something, we will land that on God, not ourselves, or not on whatever the situation, I guess you could say. But the truth is, the matter is, either we believe it or we don't. If you think of any creator on the planet, they defied truth that was there at the time. You're called a creator. You're not supposed to base your vision on what already exists. That's not an inventor. That's a duplicator. And I believe that there is not a human being on this planet, I really believe this, that is not unique. Meaning that I do not have what they have. Every single universal human being all over this earth is one of a kind. And I know I keep saying that, but it's really hard to grasp that because we're looking to something we see in order to invent something we want. And that's not an inventor. That's a duplicate. That's why it's so important to break the barrier in your life, meaning what you've experienced since you're a child, what other people telling you you can or cannot do, what you see in other people that you can't do, or that you see in other people that you wish you can do. Those are barriers. You're unique. So if you cut off any thought that is predestined and existing already as a part of your ability to achieve something, I think we're limiting possibilities. And if you really go back in history, and I've brought this up so many times, if you really go back in history, you'll find that most of what inventors did, people said was impossible because it in no way existed, and in no way existed. You should get excited with a thought in your mind that does not already exist in the physical. And I think it takes a relationship with the Creator to be able to go past the barriers that are keeping us held captives. And we end up settling for copying something that already exists. I'm not saying we're not supposed to take advantage of the things that already exist. That's not at all what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that in you is something very unique and individual. And when you wake up in the morning and you feel empty inside, and you love God, and you believe in God, and you want to follow God, but yet you feel stuck because what is inside of you is no reference, even within maybe your husband or your parents. They might say, get a grip on yourself. That's impossible. Well, until something's impossible and you manifest it, you're a copier. That's just the bottom line. And I don't mean that it doesn't look like something that's already existing. I don't mean it in that way. Let's say that you have your degree and somebody says, you know what, duplicate you and start a business and create and train other therapists to authentically be themselves, but to work within the sculpture of your creation in order to expand it or to help more people. So to me, that's still inventing. Inventing is just, to me, inventing is not ever looking back, not really even looking forward, but keep progressing in the present to create something that is divinely within you. There are barriers. There is just no way to get around it. There are barriers in our lives. I mean, think about that minister that has no legs and no arms, yet he's married. He's ministering all over the world. He's happy in his skin. And he was born with what people would say was a handicap. But he invented life through being different, not being handicapped. He was born that way. I just kind of believe that if they don't look, taste, feel, touch like we do, it's a handicap. How many of us are going all over the world preaching the gospel that have 2 legs and 2 arms? How many of us are impacting the world like this man? He's not a handicap. Absolutely not. He's an example of all other people that don't have arms and legs, that are in bed being taken care of like an invalid. He figured it out, not just for himself, but for a testimony over all the universe that looks at him as, in some ways, an inventor. A person that went through the barrier of his own body. And he couldn't pretend to be happy. I'm sorry. There's just no way. You can't pretend that. You can play that role for a while. But he's been at it for a long time. He's happily married, probably going to have children. You know, if he doesn't already, I'm not sure. I don't know. But he trusted that he was made in the image of God. His spirit and body don't have to match to create and be. You right there looking at me, you're an inventor, but you're depressed. You haven't gone through the barriers. You don't believe in yourself and your God more than you believe in your barriers. I've been there, done that, and I was held captive for a long time. And you know, I was sharing about a horse that I wasn't able to keep because it got sick and the owner lied to me and lost $21,000. And I had looked at the video in over a year. And when I looked at the video after I ended my blog, I saw that beautiful horse, and God says, you know what, girl, I got something better. You went through the barrier. You didn't give up. You kept moving forward when you lost $21,000. But more than that, a horse that was gorgeous, that you had already had plans for, which was more important to me than the money, to be honest. But when I looked at that horse, and I remember how I felt when I lost the horse, he says, you ain't seen nothing yet. I said, okay, Lord, we're never supposed to look back. There's nothing there. You'd have eyes in the back of your head if you needed them. You don't need them. You put eyes in front, leading you to what you have an opportunity on this earth before you live eternally in another realm, because you will be. But this is where God planted us for a purpose. So we got to learn in this territory. I don't know what he's getting us ready for in the other world, but I know this world has been no joke. I don't care if you have money in the bank, a beautiful husband, a beautiful wife, don't work for nothing. You're still living on this earth and going through stuff, and your money isn't fixing it. This is a very difficult land to live in. Even even though it is flowing with milk and honey, it's still really difficult within this body of clay to really embrace it without falling on our face all the time. So I want to give you a little bit of a challenge. I want you to regroup. Like, today is the first day of your life. Like I want to do start. You have every right to get up and start all over again. And say, Lord, teach me how to break through the barriers of my life, because I don't even see them until I'm already knocked over. Let your spirit that dwells inside of me show me how to be the person you created me to be on this time, on this planet. Give me wisdom and understanding of your vision for me, not what I'm existing in right now that is almost feels like a prison. So even getting back to the plane, even though they invented the plane, they couldn't go through the barrier. So somebody had to figure that out. And we're able to travel and get places so much faster, go higher in the sky, because they learned. That's how people went to Mars, or Mars, yeah, one of those planets. They broke through the barrier. They had to defy the barrier. You got to defy the barriers in your life. I promise you, you'll get to the other side. It took me a long time to realize I could change my life. And now today, there's a whole nother level. Now that I believe I've changed my inner man, where there's peace and there's happiness, and I enjoy being in this world, which I wasn't and didn't as a Christian, and dealing with a lot of stuff, just like you. But I wake up an empty mind, not a mind obsessed with things that I can't control, or things I want to get away from that I can't get away from, or things I want to get to that I can't get to, and trying to figure it out in my brain, and just not really embracing my time on this planet. No, I didn't have that. And I don't think I'm the only one that doesn't have that. I literally wake up and just go, wow, God, it's a new day. Let's just get started. Whereas before, God, please help me to get out of this bed. Help me to just shut up these thoughts. Take away this pain. Remove this stuff away. That's how I prayed. I don't even think about that stuff. And I just think about it's a new day. I got my God. I got my sanity. What a life. And it gets attacked, but I go, oh, no. God said he came that I might have peace. So this is a voice I am not going to listen to, because it doesn't come from my God. Even if it's coming from me or a friend or a phone call, I can still have peace, because it's not coming from God, because he says, I am first, peaceable, easy to entreat. And then he says to his children, I wish above all things that you prosper. So you don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about cancer. You don't have to worry about a husband. He wishes that for you, and he's God. So whatever you want, it had to come out of somebody else's belly the same time as you or near you for it to be yours. So it's here. That abundance is not something you have to create, do magic. It exists before you did. You just got to figure out how to get through the barrier keeping it from you. And I'm here to tell you, a relationship with God and understanding how God operates, which is words. What are you saying? What are you thinking? What are you walking in? Those are the questions you need to ask God. Father, remove a contrite spirit. Look up that word. Contrite, to me, I could look it up, but I believe it means separate from truth. It could mean something else, but probably is in the same family. It was really nice talking to you. You have a really wonderful Saturday, and I expect miracles in your life. I really do. And I expect them in mine too. Bye.